from whom? Many of you do not know that they are from heaven. They are just waiting to go to heaven. Neither do they know that they have the right to access heaven daily. They are waiting for a particular day that they will be lucky and make it and go to heaven. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest out of the womb, I sanctified thee. Now you must listen carefully. He says, before you entered the belly, he knew you. Meaning that you were alive. And he was walking with you somewhere before you came here. He was walking with you in a particular place, telling you that I am going to send you. He was talking to you, and he knew you. And it says that before you were born, you were sanctified. And it even goes further to say, and I ordained thee for a prophet unto all the nations. Which means now that you entered the womb, and when you arrived in the womb, he had a meeting with you for 9 months. And before you went out of the womb, he said you received your qualification.
Sure.
He says you are waiting to be ordained after 7 years in a prophetic school. He says, no, when you went out, I gave you a qualification and said you can go. You see, he gave you your qualification and released you. So you came here being complete. The only place that reduced what was given to you was this place. You see, you came here being a fully fledged, qualified, ordained, sanctified prophet. Because you are from heaven. That's where you come from. And I came here to tell you that you are from heaven. I came to tell you that you qualify to access heavens daily. Daily, you qualify to access that place because that is where you come from. Now today I was asked to come and pray for the examinations, and I was troubled. Because we think opposite direction. We don't think the way tradition thinks. You see, the employers, they meet in August, and when they meet in August, they plan the following year. You see, they meet on the New Year Eve just to pray for that following year. They don't plan for it. Abazalwane will not buy a diary in October preparing for next year. They are just hoping that on the New Year Eve they will pray so hard that year will be fine. That's how we were trained. Your employer has planned the year for you, and he has even planned which days belong to you and which one belong to him. He has given you 21 days in that year, that those are yours. Others belong to him. He has planned the whole year for you already. And you, when you come, the only thing you do, you just hope that the night prayer of that New Year's Eve is going to sort out your year. And this is the same problem we have with exams. Right? We have the same problem. We hope that, an exam prayer, we will just sort out our exams. But pardon me if I'm just being frank to you. You see, this exam prayer must be a prayer that we internalize it throughout the year. We need to ask ourselves, where do we come from with education? We must not just wait for a Wednesday night of October and suddenly, be about the exam. See? We need to know, where do we come from with this education? We have a problem as Christians and education. Every day we are becoming enemies of education. The last people in our genealogies who were serious about education were the evangelicals. The evangelicals, they were very serious about education. And come the Pentecostals, the issue of education was no more serious. And come the charismatics, they were concerned with prosperity, but they didn't want to study. And we have befriended miracles so much that we have ignored wisdom. We have ignored knowledge. And today we are in the era of the prophetic movement and the apostolic movement. And this time, the scribes are the ones who must return us back to education. We have lost education, Bazalwane, as Christians. We have lost the meaning of what it is to study. Education is a spiritual journey. But we have been watered down to have this education of missionaries that is meant to control us and not to put us in our position where we are supposed to be. God has a special purpose for us with education. Education is a spiritual mission that God has for us. But with us, the way we look at education is the problem that we have as Christians. As Christians, we say there is a secular life and there is a spiritual life. That's the first place where we go wrong. With the Muslims, there is no spiritual or secular. Everything is spiritual. Now, we have become enemies of education. We have gone to a place where, in our own understanding, we made ourselves enemies of education the way God wanted us to be educated. And the problem with us and education, you see it in how we behave to the word. You see it in how we approach the word. You see, that is the problem that we have with education. If you look from the days of old, the history says there are about 10 things that change the world. There are 10 inventions that change the world. The first invention that changed the world is fire. The second invention that changed the world is the wheel. The wheel was introduced 3,500 years ago. The third thing that changed the world is the compass. Campus. And all these people, these things were revealed to them by who? By God. There was something about the education of these people. See, Now, the compass, it came at the 11th century. And this is the time when people started to take the ships and sail. You see. And this was God revealing to these people this wisdom. You see. Because these people were opening their books, the hidden books, in their heavens. They were opening them, discovering these things. You see. Now, the fourth thing that changed the world, it happened only in the 15th century. It changed the world drastically, and this is what we have been talking about all along. The printing press. Before we had the printing press, you had to employ somebody that he must print this book for 5 months and give him 5 months salary to print this book. You see. Now, these things as they are coming, the wheel, the compass, the printing press, it is God. It is a plan of God concerning His word.